For years, the JDM market reigned supreme in producing some of the coolest and most affordable tuner cars. However, in the 2020s, that doesn't seem to be the case. Cars coming out of Japan now are not as affordable. As a matter of fact, they're quite expensive. They come off as boring and just don't seem to cater to the enthusiast. But what if I told you that there was a contender, someone that could possibly come in, maybe not now, but in the future, and take control of the Asian tuner market? And what if I told you that this brand was Korean? Let's dive into it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Car Rant. My name is John. If you guys are new to the channel, we do builds, we do reviews, and we have candid conversations about cars. So if any of that interests you guys at all, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, and let's dive into the video. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, I believe that Japanese brands have become expensive, cheap, and frankly, just boring to build and tune for the enthusiast.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Outside of certain vehicles like the Toyota Supra, the GR Corolla, Civic Type R, Nissan Z, things like that, there's not a ton of market for Japanese tuners. However, the Koreans are taking advantage of this, and they're doing something that I'm actually glad they're doing. I'm talking specifically about the N cars from Hyundai. What? Now, I know what you're thinking. John, Hyundai? Out of all the brands that are out there, Hyundai? The same Hyundai that made cheap, unreliable, and just undesirable cars? I'm not talking about that Hyundai. I'm talking about the new Hyundai. The new Hyundai that makes cars like the Elantra N and that used to make a car, the Veloster N. I'm talking about the Hyundai brand that is also the same brand as Genesis that makes high-end luxury cars for the Korean market. That's the Hyundai that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the Hyundai that made the Tiburon and the Hyundai Genesis, the coupe. I'm talking about the Hyundai that is making cars specifically for the enthusiast. See, I was in the same boat as many of you probably are. I didn't like Hyundai as a brand. I considered buying a Genesis coupe a couple years ago, but besides that, I don't like Hyundai. I'm a Korean man that doesn't like Hyundai, which I don't know if that's just friendly fire or what, but I was never a fan of Hyundai. And until recently, I still wasn't a fan of Hyundai. Not until I got to drive one. In an effort to change my mind about the Hyundai brand, my coworker let me drive his brand new Elantra N. And I was pleasantly surprised. This car drove absolutely beautifully. The steering was tight and it was heavy. The engine response was incredible. The exhaust had just a fun, vibrant personality to it. I had so much fun listening to just all the pops and crackles and bangs and just all the little fun noises that the exhaust was making. It was a fun car to drive. And even better yet, the interior of this car was actually very surprisingly well made. There was a lot of suede surfaces, there was a couple of leather areas, and yes, it still had its share of hard plastics. It's still a Korean-made car, and it's still meant to be cheap. I cannot say that this is a cheap car. It's an affordable car. This is not a cheaply made car, none whatsoever. Yes, again, like I just said, it has its hard plastic surfaces on the inside, but with the other materials in the car, it kind of cancels itself out. Very much like how the Type R was for me, where the Type R had its fair share of plastics, but it also had its fair share of well-made suede surfaces and a couple of leather surfaces as well. It was a good balance of the affordable costs that the brand needed to include in the car to make it more affordable, and also it included the good quality made materials for the inside as well. And I can happily say that the Elantra N was one of the best experiences I had driving a 4-cylinder car. Not to mention, it was one of the best handling cars I got to drive, especially for a front-wheel drive car. I would put it up there with the Type R in terms of how well it handled. Maybe not the FL5 generation, but definitely with the FK8 generation, which is the one that I had. Hyundai is doing something that I don't think any of us saw coming. They went from making unreliable, cheap, undesirable cars to making enthusiast-driven cars at an affordable cost. And their luxury brand Genesis is going to be joining them here soon with their Magma line of cars. A line of cars that is meant to compete with the likes of the F-Sport line from Lexus, or even cars like AMGs, RS cars from Audi, or even M cars from BMW. Hyundai and Genesis alike are doing something that a lot of Japanese brands have kind of stepped away from. There are certain brands like Toyota that are still making enthusiast-made cars, the GR86, the GR Corolla. I know the Supra is getting discontinued. Crying face, because I like the Supra. I miss my Supra. But they're expensive. And the thing is no one wants these expensive cars. And frankly, to a degree, sometimes is it actually worth it? Hyundai and Genesis are making affordable economy and luxury cars that have a ton of performance in them. And I think that give it a couple of years, you'll see Hyundai and Genesis outselling their enthusiast cars compared to brands like Subaru, Honda, Acura, Toyota. You'll eventually see, and this is my prediction, I could be wrong, but this is just what I'm seeing, you will probably see more KDM market cars, especially from the new market, on the road, being modified, being driven, more so than brand new JDM made cars. Yes, does Hyundai have a lot to work on? Absolutely. Their cars still have a couple of unreliability issues, and there's still some cheaply made areas that probably could use some improving, but they're in a really good spot. And if they continue to build upon the route that they're going, I 100% believe that the KDM market will be either at the same level or even higher than the JDM market. So what do you guys think? Do you think that I'm absolutely crazy for thinking that the KDM market could outperform the JDM market in terms of the tuner world? Do you think that I'm right in thinking that JDM cars are not affordable and frankly don't really cater to the enthusiast? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Be nice, be happy, be nice to somebody today. I'll see you in the next one. Also, I bought new mics. I'm not sure how these sound. However, I don't have to use this dumb Rode mic anymore. I can just slap this sucker on. We're getting high quality, folks. We're getting high quality. We got some fun stuff on the way, let me tell you.